morning, I'm Paolo del Rosario. Welcome to Weather HQ. Today's headlines. Severe tropical storm Marce slightly intensifies and is nearing typhoon category. Signal number 1 is up in northern Luzon. 14 people are killed after lightning strikes in a Uganda refugee camp. More on our global weather. And we'll speak with the Philippine Red Cross about ways to mitigate the impact of natural calamities and its various programs promoting disaster preparedness. Let's take a look at the local weather. Severe tropical storm Marce undergoes rapid intensification and is now nearing a typhoon category. At 5 a.m. today, the center of tropical storm Marce was estimated 735 kilometers east of Baler, Aurora, with maximum sustained winds of 110 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 135 kilometers per hour. Now, Marce is moving fast in the northwestward direction at a speed of 25 kilometers an hour. Now, based on Pag-asa's latest track, it is forecast to intensify into a typhoon in the coming hours and maintain its strength as it exits the Philippine Area of Responsibility by Friday evening or early Saturday morning. Now, it is forecasted to make landfall in the Babuyan Islands. Now, if you take a look at the forecast probability cone, there's also a possibility that Marce may make landfall in Cagayan or in Isabela. Now, since Marce is a fast-moving storm, Pag-asa has already raised signal number 1 in Batanes, Cagayan Islands, including Babuyan Islands, the northern and eastern portions of Isabela, northern portion of Apayao, and the northern portion of Ilocos Norte. These areas will experience winds of up to 61 kph, and intermittent rains are also expected within 36 hours. Residents and the local government units are advised as early as now to prepare for the possible impact of the storm. Please remember that when the tropical cyclone intensifies and is moving closer, the storm warning signal may further be raised. Speaking of winds, the residents of Ilocos Sur, Aurora, Quezon, and Camarines Norte will start to experience gusty winds today. And by tomorrow, as Marce moves closer to the Philippine landmass, the residents of the Ilocos region, Quezon, Camarines Norte, and Camarines Sur, as well as Catanduanes, should prepare for strong winds brought by Marce. In terms of heavy rains, residents in Cagayan will experience moderate to heavy rains today, and by tomorrow, as Marce moves closer to the landmass, residents should also expect heavy, intense rainfall by Thursday, and intense torrential rains are expected for the entire region. Now, for the other parts of Luzon, particularly in Batanes and in Apayao, moderate to heavy rains will prevail. On Thursday, moderate to heavy rains are also expected in Isabela, Abra, Ilocos Sur, Kalinga, and a mountain province, while heavy to intense rains are expected in Apayao, Ilocos Norte, and Batanes on Thursday. Let's take a look at the latest satellite of severe tropical storm Marce. You can see here the rains are concentrated near the center of the storm with severe tropical storm Marce. Cloudy skies with scattered rain showers or thunderstorms are expected to prevail over the Cagayan Valley, Apayao, Kalinga, Quezon, and of course the Bicol region as well. Now, moderate to at times heavy rains may cause possible flash floods or landslides. So if you're in these areas, please monitor the weather conditions and listen to your local government units for the necessary actions to be taken. Now, over in Aurora and Eastern Visayas, partly cloudy skies with isolated rain showers are expected. Of course, residents should also watch out for possible flash floods and landslides during the severe thunderstorms. Partly cloudy skies with chances of thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon, are expected though over here in Metro Manila, as well as the rest of the country in general. Let's take a look at our gale conditions, or sea conditions rather. A gale warning is up on the seaboard of the northern Luzon, particularly in the Batanes, Isabela, and Cagayan. Also, the Babuyan Islands are also included with regards to that. As I move on over here, ito po ang gale warning natin. With severe tropical storm Marce inside the Philippine Area of Responsibility, these areas will experience very rough sea conditions and may have a maximum of wave of up to 5 meters. Now, to know more about the possible impact of severe tropical storm Marce on our country, we have with us on the phone Pag-asa weather specialist Cignal Dominguez. Good morning, Cignal.
Good morning to you and good morning to everyone.
Cignal, based on the forecast, bakit ba napakabilis ang intensification ng Marce?
Yun po, sa nakikita po kasi natin, bumabaybay pa rin po ito ng ating karagatan at favorable conditions din po ang currently sa ating karagatan kaya nagkakaroon din po ito ng rapid intensification.
We're worried about the possible super typhoon category, Chanel. Will we get to that point?
Sa nakikita po natin, hindi pa rin po natin inaalis din po yung posibilidad. Pero kung mangyayari man po ang super typhoon category, ay nakatawid na po ito ng ating Philippine landmass po.
Well, na-mention po natin na medyo mabilis ang movement ng Marce. Does that mean na mabilis din mawawala to sa PAR natin?
Sa nakikita po natin, possible ang kanyang labas ng ating Philippine Area of Responsibility ay sa Sabado pa po. Pero kung asahan po natin, kahit nasa labas naman po ito na park, kung ito po ay magiging malawak pa rin po, possible pa din ang mga tropical cyclone wind signal, lalo na po sa eastern section ng ating bansa.
Nakakita po natin na medyo wide yung cone of probability ng Marce. What are the factors with regards to bakit medyo wide siya? We don't know exactly kung saan siya magla-landfall.
Yes po, kasi ngayon nagsa-start na rin po yung bugso po natin ng northeasterly wind flow. Kaya ito rin po ay isang malaking factor para din po sa magiging direksyon at intensity din po na itong bagyo po natin.
In terms of yung rainfall, what can we expect as the storm moves closer to the Philippine landmass?
Yun po, kumikita din kasi natin sa satellite imagery po natin, lalo na po sa infrared, malaki pong kaulapan din po ang dala po nito ni Marce. Kaya asahan po natin malakas din, mga malawakang pag-ulan din po to, lalo na po pag lumapit na po ito lalo dito sa Philippine landmass po natin. And then po para sa mga kababayan po natin, wag po natin hintayin ang landfall po at maghanda na rin po tayo dahil kahit po yung rain bands po ng bagyo ay nagdadala po ito ng malakas na hangin at pag-ulan.
Chanel, na-mention mo yung northeasterly wind flow. How would it interact with Marce? Will it enhance yung wind flow or will the northeasterly wind flow actually enhance yung Marce?
Kung alala po natin, ang northeasterly wind flow po ay malamig na hangin po. Samantala, ito naman po bagyo, para magkaroon po tayo ng bagyo, is mainit na hangin po ang ating kailangan. So once nagkaroon po ng interaction with the malamig na hangin, madalas po ang bagyo po ay humihina po.
Maraming salamat. That is Chanel Dominguez, the weather specialist from Pag-asa, giving us an overview of what to expect from Tropical Storm Marce. Maraming salamat. Up next, we'll have the Philippine Red Cross to talk about ways to mitigate the impact of natural disasters. Stay tuned. You're watching Weather HQ. Welcome back. You're still watching Weather HQ. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Following the recent high number of casualties in the aftermath of Tropical Cyclone Christine, Malacanang has mobilized government agencies to help prevent similar incidents. Now, to help us increase public awareness on disaster preparedness, joining us in the studio is Philippine Red Cross National Headquarters Disaster Management Services Manager, grabe yung title niya, Criselda Longa. Magandang umaga. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, good morning, Paolo. Yeah.
All right, so let's start off first with yung obvious. The Philippines is the most hit country with regards to natural disasters. May natutunan ba tayo in recent years, months, base sa experience mo?
Yes, marami tayong natutunan in terms of disaster preparedness. So, sinasabi nga nila ang buong disaster management is from preparedness to response up to ma-recover natin yung mga situation natin after the impact ng mga bagyo, earthquake, and other incident. So, in terms of mga lessons learned, I think based on the previous na big mga operation, ang nakita natin is dapat ang tao talaga is aware kung ano yung nangyayari outside the hazard or yung mga risk, and dapat yung preparedness in terms of evacuation is nangyayari because in terms of evacuation, doon natin masasave yung ating mga lives, not only our life but also our resources, including yung ating mga livelihoods and even yung ating mga loved ones na mga pets like that.
Alam mo ko, medyo timely because maraming typhoon na dumadaan as of late. But then it's not just about typhoons, it's about flooding, it's about volcanic eruptions at mga lindol rin, mga earthquakes. The Red Cross now has programs na quote natural-based. Ano po yun? Ano yung mga natural-based solutions for the Red Cross?
Actually, it's nature-based.
Nature-based,
yes,
okay.
Nature-based solution. It's like working with nature, on which we work with nature, with the community na inaalagaan natin yung environment because environment is one of our protective measures. For example, mangrove. During Typhoon Haiyan, there's a lot of storm surges. But because of the mangroves, there's a limited number of individuals or houses na na-damage because the mangrove itself protect the community. And pag sinabi nating nature-based, not only on the coastal area but also on the reef sa mga kabundukan natin because these mga trees, it will help to prevent flash flooding. So yun yung mga nasusupport sa atin ng nature pag mayroon tayong mga preventive measure that enables us to protect the community.
And of course, talking about the community, syempre, if you can take a shot of yung buong table po natin dito, we have the contents of a prescribed go bag ng Philippine Red Cross. Now, we've seen a lot of suggestions, reports online, but you prepared for us a very, sabihin natin, strategic and very usable kit here. Can you tell us about yung contents nito at yung rationale niya?
Yeah. So, ang tawag namin dito ay emergency go bag. Usually backpack yung nare-recommend natin para hands-free pag tayo ay nag-evacuate. So number one for that is of course yung ating emergency food na pwedeng magsuporta sa atin for at least 24 hours or 72 hours. And in addition to that, sa evacuation center kasi limited yung mga sleeping materials. So we recommend na magkaroon din tayo ng sarili nating mat and mga blanket on our own kasi later pa magsusupport yung ating mga authorities and other actors to provide us sleeping materials. And of course, meron tayong tinatawag na battery-operated radio. So if in case na walang signal, we can listen to the news na meron man tayong dapat mapakinggan. And yung mga flashlight po natin, no, ang tawag namin dito, crank-based na flashlight. So even without battery, pwede tayong magkaroon ng light. And of course, pwede rin tayo magdala ng mga kandila and of course posporo. And ang di namin dapat kalimutan ay yung tubig kasi we don't know kung may supply ba ng water sa evacuation center. And of course, yung ating mga kitchen utensils if in case na kailangan natin kumain on the community or evacuation center. And ang pinakamahalaga po talaga sa amin is itong whistle. Why we are recommending to have a whistle? Because if in case na kailangan natin ng rescue operation or tayo ay natrap sa isang area at tayo ay pagod na, wala tayong lakas sumigaw, whistle ang makakapag-save to us because it can create a sound na pwedeng marinig ng mga rescuer. So these are the basic items sa go bag po natin. But of course, depending on the needs of the family, you can add your medicines and then ito, may in-add din kami mga pertinent documents, yung mga birth certificate, yung mga land title, and of course, syempre, kailangan din natin ng pera in case. So, we can add that in our go bag and emergency bag together with our cell phone and other equipment.
So, yung tanong ko, for those wondering siguro, bakit mo kailangan ng pertinent documents sa go bag mo?
Most of the time kasi, no, ang laging nami-miss out pag flooding situation is yung mga importanteng dokumento ng pamilya. Nawala yung birth certificate, nawala yung ID, nawala yung land title. And then later, after the impact ng mga bagyo, hinahanapan ka pa ng mga ID, bahay mo ba talaga yan, yung nasira, etc., etc. So, pertinent documents is very important in every family, lalo dito sa Pilipinas. No?
And of course, right now, syempre, napaka-importante na may go bag in general. And of course, we can go through each of them item per item. Pero let's talk about first the community effort, apart from yung individual and family base. Gaano ka-importante yung networking with the community to understand kung anong mga kailangan gawin, especially during disaster situations.
Yeah, actually, the Philippine Red Cross has this kind of volunteer program. We call it Red Cross 143. It's one team leader, 43 members na located siya in different part of the community na they are the support volunteer of the Philippine Red Cross at the barangay level. If in case na kailangan mai-rescue, mai-first aid, sila yung initial na responder. But nevertheless, meron din kami tinatawag na 4Ps. Predict, plan, prepare, practice. So in every aspect ng 4Ps na ito, every community member must know to predict ano ba yung mga hazard within the community itself. Bagyo ba yan? Prone ba sila sa baha, sa earthquake, sa volcanic eruption, etc. So dapat nilang malaman yung awareness, no? Plano, kailangan magplano ng each of the family and even community. They need to plan out yung go bag nila. Pag mag-evacuate sila, saan bang evacuation center sila pupunta? Pag nagkahiwa-hiwalay yung pamilya, saan sila magkikita? Sa bahay ba ng kanilang tita, ng lolo, lola, o sa evacuation center? Prepare. So, kailangan nila mag-prepare ng go bag. And of course, they need to prepare themselves mentally na pag may bagyo, dapat ready tayo to evacuate. And of course, practice. Ito yung gusto naming laging ibigay sa mga community. Dapat ini-involve nila yung sarili nila sa mga drills, flood drills, earthquake drills, and fire drills. Because sa pagsasali nila sa drills, nadadagdagan yung kaalaman nila paano maging handa pag may darating na disaster.
Griselda, I can talk to you about this forever, pero that's all the time that we have. For those who want more information with regards to disaster mitigation, preparedness, do check out mga social media accounts ng Philippine Red Cross. Maraming salamat. Thank you very much for joining us. Again, that's Griselda Longa of the Philippine Red Cross. Global weather comes after the break. Keep it here. You're watching BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. Well, back to this Weather HQ, let's take a look at the global weather. At least 14 people, including several children, were killed in a Ugandan refugee camp when lightning hit a makeshift church. Police officials report around 50 people were praying in the church in Palabik, or refugee camp in northern Uganda, on Saturday evening when a heavy storm hit the area. Resident District Commissioner for Lamo Region, William Comich, said that 14 people died when lightning hit its metal roof, including 5 girls and 9 boys aged between 14 and 18, while the police said 34 people were injured and treated at a nearby health center. Well, let's take a trip around the world. Let's take a look at the different weather scenes around the globe. Let's start off in Australia. In Australia, boats race near Bradley's Head on a sunny day in Sydney as spring transitions into summer with a high of 33 degrees Celsius. The photo was taken by Saeed Khan. Over in South America, Mariana Suarez captured a shelf cloud appearing over the Rio de la Plata estuary in Montevideo. Over in Europe, birds fly past a wind turbine as condensation trails from airplanes are seen in the sky yesterday in Dortmund, Germany. This photo was taken by Ina Fassbender. Now moving on to Paris, morning sunlight silhouettes. A pedestrian walking through the Parc des Buttes-Chaumont. The photo is from Kieran Ridley. I hope I got the pronunciation right. I doubt it. In the Middle East, Ibrahim Shaloub captured a lightning flash over the Mediterranean waters off the coast of Lebanon's northern city of Batroun. While Karim Jafar took a shot of the sun rising over a boat on the Persian Gulf in Al Waqra, 30 kilometers from Doha, Qatar. Now returning to Asia, people visit the Zhongshan Park to see the autumn colors on the trees in Beijing. Now, friends, if you have any weather-related photos or videos, please feel free to send us to our social media accounts flashed here on the screen, which we shall bring out in just a bit. But of course, you can check out the BNC social media pages for all of that. And that's the Weather HQ for today. Join us again tomorrow, whatever the weather, here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Have a great morning.